Hi, I'm Kathy Mills from Short Film Edits, and I'm here with Jude Gabrielson for an interview today. How are you?
Very good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Could we start this with you telling us a little bit about you?
Sure, yeah. So I'm 22 years old. Um, I love sports. I do a little bit of boxing in my free time. I'm originally from Oklahoma, Oklahoma City. So I got a little bit of a country background, but I gotta say I've moved to LA like 2.5 years ago and I love it. It's just been the land of opportunities for me, you know. Other than that, I have two older siblings, an older brother and an older sister. My sister actually lives out here in LA with me, which is very nice. Um, I have a dog, a little pit bull named Blue.
Oh,
He's about 7 years old now.
yeah.
He's the sweetest angel. But I can't get him out to LA because he's a pit bull, and
Oh
she doesn't
no.
like that. Yeah. So
Oh, that's hard.
that's some hardship in my life.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. I moved. This is different because I could get her, but I moved state once and I couldn't take my dog with me straight away, and that was
Yeah.
painful, but I was able to get her there. So I'm sorry. That's annoying,
No,
but
it's all right. I think it's good for my mom to have a little
mm,
piece of me with her, you know. And
yeah.
he loves hanging out with her because she just is in the garden all the time and he'll
Mm,
lay out and hang out with the butterflies and the bees and he has
yeah.
a good life.
And it makes those moments when he sees you even better.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So what inspired you to start acting?
I think honestly just being in LA, being around a lot of other creatives. I think I've always been interested in it, but just never really seen myself as an actor or in that field of work. Um, but as modeling started getting better and taking off and working and catering with a lot of actors and artists and models, it really inspired me to, try it out for myself. And so far it's been a great experience. I've loved the feedback that I've gotten from it. I've loved my time in acting class and I've loved my time in the vertical world. So I think it's definitely something that I want to pursue further and see where it's.
Definitely. Yeah. How did you get your first acting opportunity?
It was interesting, actually. I don't know how they found me. I think, and this is just a theory,
Yeah.
I did a couple of YouTube dating shows to like just get my face out there, get some attention, and I got a lot more than I expected. And I believe that this is how Drama Box found me. Because shortly after that, somebody messaged me on Instagram asking me to do an audition. And it was for Love and Bloodlust. And so I was like, I would love to. And I went
Cool.
all in on this audition. I mean, I asked my roommate for like leather clothes and
Hmm.
got all fitted up. I made sure my hair was looking good and I dived immediately into this character. And I think that's what helped me get the role.
Hmm.
Um, I think obviously they were interested in me because they reached out, but
Yeah.
I was like dead set on getting that first role, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. The passion was there. The passion was
It
there.
paid off, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's really good. So your role as Damien in Love and Bloodlust is one of your first major screen, obviously your first major screen appearance. What surprised you most about the reality of working on set?
It was definitely something to get used to, the pace of everything, because they do like to move very quickly. But honestly, it didn't feel like there was a lot of pressure. I mean, I
Mm.
will say there was pressure because this was like their first vampire show, and it was a lead role, and it was my first role. So of course I was nervous, but everybody on set was really good at making me feel comfortable and helping me out with the process. And I don't know, everyone was just very gracious. And so it honestly wasn't too difficult to get into the flow of things. I think also being in acting class and having a little bit of direction from her and understanding eye line and placement from modeling. I think my experience in this world definitely helped as well. Um, but one of the hardest things to get used to was the pace for sure, because they want to just get those lines done, maybe like 3 takes, and try to
Hmm.
move on. And being a new actor, it would take a few more takes for me sometimes.
Yes.
But we got there in the end. The direction was really great. All of my co-stars were really great, and we got right through it. So
Yeah.
it wasn't too big
Yeah.
of a problem for me.
I'm glad they were good with that, with it being your first time and allowing you to be able to do that. So,
Mm,
because
for
verticals are
sure.
very, very fast paced compared to normal film or TV. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. How'd you go with memorizing lines? Because you would have had a lot for your first lead.
Yeah. I will say a lot of it was voiceover, which was
Mm.
amazing for me.
Yeah.
Because at that point, it's all just in the face, you just have to act. And as long as you know what's going on and who you are, you can do that. Um, I did have a little bit of trouble occasionally, but most of the time, if you forget one line, you can just ask what it was and pick right up where you left off. Um, and then honestly, it's not too hard. I have a secret process that I can't tell
Oh,
everybody,
good. But I
but
like that.
it helps me get the gist of things. And honestly, I can memorize a page or two within probably 3 to 4 tries.
Okay. Well, that's handy.
It's very
Mm.
handy. I
It's
learned
very
it
good.
from my friend that I just
Yeah,
moved in. It's a pretty good little trick.
that's good. It'd be good for like schoolwork and stuff like that with photographic memory type thing.
Yeah, if only I'd known it back then. If
Yes, yes, that would have been helpful.
only I was
Uh,
as passionate about school as I am about acting.
yeah, no, I get that though. I think everybody gets that. All right. What did you want to bring to Damien's character the audience might not expect?
That's a good question. I think what I wanted to bring to Damien, especially because it's a love story, was a little bit of softness and um because he's more of a tough guy, he's high up on that totem pole. He's the heir to the throne. He's the one of the strongest vampires or whatever. So he's got to be tough. And I think every tough guy kind of puts on a little bit of a mask. So I think my secret to Damien was having that underlying kind of childlike softness and really bringing that out with Margot and our relationship and that romanticism of it all.
Yeah, well, that's good. I think, yeah, everybody likes to live behind a mask sometimes, especially for like characters with that kind of power. So
Right.
there's always that little bit of vulnerability that they don't like to show.
Yeah, but I think that's what the people want to see.
Hmm.
So that's what I tried to put my energy in.
That's good. That's good. All right. So when you first read the script, what was the moment that made you think, I really want this?
Hmm. I think what made me really want the role, I mean, obviously I was interested in it. It's vampires, it's a lead role, and there's fighting involved. So
Mm.
like there was a lot of aspects, but I think the main one was Damien as a character. Like just the complexity of it. I felt like it would be a challenging role for me, which really excited me.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I always love, like we said before, getting in that uncomfortability, getting out of your comfort zone and really trying something new. Because I feel like
Mm.
typically I'm not a tough guy, um, but I do love the thought of like someone that powerful being a real person. Because I feel like in today's world, a lot of very powerful people are put up on a pedestal and maybe they run away with that power or they are, a bad guy. but to be seen as a bad guy, but then also be very genuine, very caring, very emotional. I think that's what stuck out to me. That's what made me really interested in Damien as a character.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. I'm really glad that you got that opportunity to have that for your first role, like your first big role. It
Me
sets
too.
some like expectations for the rest, you know?
True, that's true.
Mm.
But I don't mind them. I think that's just motivation for me to, perfect my craft and work even harder at it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Okay, so what do you hope people take away from the show?
Hmm. What do I hope people take away from the show? Well, for one, I hope that they take away bullying is not good because a big part of that show is Margot getting bullied for being less than a vampire or being a mutt, so to speak,
Hmm.
which is what they call her throughout the show.
Yeah.
But it's all opinions and it's all like status. It just reminds me of high school drama, which is essentially what it is. But hopefully in that sense, people will see that. Maybe people in high school will see that and they'll think twice about bullying someone because they're different.
Yeah.
I think that's the main thing I hope people take away. And then also, I hope you take away that I'm a great actor and want to keep watching more of my verticals.
Hire me. Hire me. That's what we want. Hire me. Yeah. Well, hopefully casting directors see that.
Right, right,
Yeah.
exactly.
All right. What does your process look like when building a character?
It's it's honestly quite a process. This is something that my acting coach emphasizes heavily. Um, the first thing is knowing who you are, right? You can't act if you don't know who you are. So you want to know where you come from, how old you are, like what role you play in society, and who you are as a person, right? Because there's a little bit of nature versus nurture, right? So who are my parents? How was I brought up? But then what also have I gone through? And what have I experienced to make me individual, and unique? And then second part is dressing up like the character. If you feel like the person, you're gonna act more like that person, which is why I'm actually dressed up in a pinstripe suit right now. I just finished an audition for a mafia member.
Oh, yeah.
So I got pretty lucky with the suit, but I feel like pinstripe is very mafia, right? So you put on that pinstripe, you get in the headspace, you think about who am I, and then you start thinking about the scene and the lines. You want to think about the scene before, the scene after to know where you're coming from, where you're going, and then you want to go moment to moment. So each line has to be delivered with with mindfulness, right? With a purpose, and you want to be able to react to your co-star, to your partner, whoever is across from you. So that all helps, or everything I mentioned before helps with these scenes in the moment.
Mm. Yeah. Oh, that's good. I love it. Do you have any struggle building any part of Damien's character?
I think it was really just being fierce enough. Because, like I said, I'm not typically a tough guy, or at least I
Mm.
don't like to show that I'm a tough guy. I like to be friendly and approachable. And
Mm.
with Damien, it felt like he did not want to be approachable. And if you do approach him, he wanted a little bit of fear with that approach. Um, and so that was a little bit tricky for me to portray. And then it's just, I think, the complexity of that balance of fierceness and softness, trying to
Mm.
bounce between the two and have a little confliction of not wanting to show it. but then having to show it because I care so much.
Hmm.
So
Oh,
yeah, probably.
yeah. Cool. All right. So now that you've stepped into the acting world, what kind of roles would you love to explore next?
Mm, funny enough, I think Mafia is definitely up there. So I'm
Hmm.
crossing my fingers that I get this role. Um, any kind of fighting scenes, honestly. I love fighting and I feel like there's plenty of romance. So I'm not too worried about getting another romance role, and plus I've already done it.
Hmm.
I have heard that there may be some kind of musical
Hmm.
vertical in the works. I think that would be a lot of fun. I've never done anything like that. So I think it would be good for me to try it out. But I think I'd be most passionate about a fighting role. I don't know. There's something about it that just draws me in.
Yeah. Do you have singing background?
Not background. I do like to
Mhm.
sing. I sing in my car and in the shower, and I have a song I'm gonna sing Frank Sinatra for my acting class. Um,
No.
so I do practice. I think there's a chance I could get it. Obviously, there's probably better roles or better actors for the lead roles, but I think I could get a side part.
Yep. 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 I've had some experience with singing probably since I was like 16,
Oh
but I
wow.
never went to like lessons or anything. So I left it to the like pub and the karaoke more than anything. So
Yeah, that's more my vibe for sure.
yeah. Yeah. I love that vibe.
Yeah, a good
Yeah.
one.
Okay, so what's the most unexpected thing you learned from the cast or crew while filming?
Mm, unexpected thing. I learned a lot, especially from my co-stars and from my director. Um, I don't know. That's a good question. Can you hear that dryer in the background? Is it loud?
No,
Okay,
no.
good. I might have to think about that one. The most unexpected thing I learned.
Hmm.
I think it was just learning how to work with another person. Because most of the time, I mean, I'm obviously brand new. And so most of the work I do in my class, it's more just directional and I'm more focused on myself. But I think during the vertical, it I really had to focus on my partner, what their emotions were, what they were saying and doing, and really reacting off of that. And I think that actually helped me a lot with playing the character. So I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah, absolutely. So from that first experience, what do you think would make a good co-star for you?
I think a good co-star, like I said before, is just someone who listens to their partner.
Mm.
I think a big part of it is you want to stay in your character, yes, and still feel those emotions, but you want to understand what's happening across from you. Because if you're just stuck in your own head, you're only going to be playing your parts. You have to, it's a two-way street, so to speak. Both people have to carry their weight and really be in the scene, really be
Yeah.
aware of the scene. So I think that's a good scene partner for me is someone who remembers their lines for one,
Hmm.
to something I'm working on, and then two, someone who works well with other people, I guess.
Yeah, and can be present in the moment.
Present in the moment. Thank you. Couldn't find the words for
That's right. I knew what you were saying. All
it.
right. If you could shadow any actor for a day to learn from them, who would it be and why?
Mm, probably Jake Gyllenhaal,
Mm.
honestly. I think he's very diverse and he's done a lot of different roles that I would love to play. So I think shadowing him and really getting into his mind would be very fascinating.
What part do you like about his character, like his person, the most in his acting style?
I think it's just his range, honestly, um, and his intensity.
Mm,
He's he can go from violent psychopath to like romantic lover boy, but he can do both so well and so passionately. And I think that's what makes a really good actor is just the passion and the love behind what you're doing. So I think that would just be inspiring, spending a day with
mm,
someone that passionate.
yeah, you'd soak it all in, wouldn't you? Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
I'm like
Okay.
a sponge.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, okay, what was your first day on set like?
First day on set, it was interesting. They pretty
Mhm.
much threw us right into it. Um, so we're in hair and makeup. I'm getting to know everybody. You know, it's all friendly faces, a lot of good positive energy, which was very nice. And then the first scene we do, it's a romantic scene. And like, I barely know this girl. It's my first romantic scene. I'm all shaking in my boots, like making sure my breath doesn't smell bad and making sure I look good for the camera. And I was definitely nervous. Um, but I think being thrown right into it is where I thrive.
Yeah.
So amongst all the nerves and jitters, I think I was able to use that for my acting and um, prevail, so to speak. I mean, I really feel confident about that performance, which is rare for me, to be honest. I feel like I'm very critical of myself. Um, but like I said, I think just being thrown right into it was perfect. That's exactly what I needed.
Good. I'm glad that worked for you the first time. I personally think that I think they should hold off on romantic scenes until maybe like the third day so you guys can get comfortable with each other. But in that experience, I'm glad it worked for you.
No, I agree. But yeah, I'm glad it worked.
Yeah. I mean, I know that a lot of these like leads and stuff, they've worked together before, so a lot of the time they already know each other and they're comfortable. But you get the odd one where you don't know them, and it's just nice if you don't have to get thrown into a scene like that instantly. But
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
but I'm not the director, so
no,
I
no,
do what I gotta do, you know,
exactly. But I'm glad it worked for you.
for sure.
Yeah. So what's been your biggest challenge so far?
Mm, I think my biggest challenge so far has just been it's probably just been trying to balance everything out, honestly, because with the modeling and the acting, sometimes things come and go, sometimes you have multiple things going on in the same day. I don't know, just the industry is very interesting to me. It's a new world. And then I don't know, I feel honestly very comfortable behind a camera already because of modeling and like practicing on social media. It's something I've been trying to get comfortable with for a while now. And then as long as I have good co-stars, which I have so far, all of my co-stars have been great. I get very comfortable very fast, and I just try to dive right into the character. So honestly, the most challenging thing has been scheduling. Like
Yeah, yeah,
I really enjoy everything else about the acting world.
yeah. That's good. I get the whole scheduling thing. That can be a mess. Yes.
It's a first world problem for sure, but
Yeah. But you work it,
sometimes
you
I'm used
figure it
to it.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Where do you hope your acting career will take you in the future?
Man, I mean, as far as I can go, honestly, I would love to be in a big movie one day, maybe a regular on a TV show. I'd love to keep doing verticals and just see what kind of new roles I can get. I mean, I would love to play maybe a superhero. I think that would
Mm,
be a lot of fun. Um, Maybe like a detective. That would be a really fun role. Maybe win a Grammy one day.
hmm
I don't know. I like setting my sights high.
Good.
It may seem overly ambitious, but I think anybody can achieve anything if you put the time and effort into it. So I would
Yeah,
love to win some kind of award and be noticed for my acting. I think that would be a huge achievement.
absolutely. And I think dream big is always a good thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
better
What
than
type?
aiming low and reaching even lower, you know?
This is true. This is true. What type of like TV series would you be interested in, do you think?
Maybe a comedy series would be fun.
Mm. Yeah.
Or like I said, detective, maybe like a SWAT show or NCIS type show, I think would be fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm open for anything though, honestly. I would do a rom-com. I would do like a The Summer I Turned Pretty type show. It wouldn't be my first choice, but
Mm,
that would be great for my acting chops, and it'd be, especially as a new actor, I think that would be great for someone like me.
One of my favorite shows is 911.
No,
So I
yeah,
think
yeah, that would
yeah,
be a great show. I would love to do something like that.
yeah. You get a bit of everything in that one, you know. So
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah. Well, that's good. All right. Um, well, this kind of goes to what you were just talking about, but if you could create your own perfect storyline, what would it be?
Mm. I think there would be a little bit of sci-fi in there, if I'm being honest.
Sci-fi. That is my favorite genre.
I love some sci-fi.
Yeah.
Um, some sci-fi, it's probably like a Star Wars type show,
hmm
or maybe like a Rick and Morty type show, something
hmm
that pushes the edges, right? Star Wars, they push the edge in a different way. Like just everything was very new. And then Rick and Morty, they push the boundaries with their comedy. I want something that's gonna stick out, I guess.
Yeah.
So something sci-fi, maybe a little bit of romance, some fighting, um, and a good versus evil. I
hmm
love like a good versus evil type, like how Star Wars has they have Darth Vader and they got the Jedis.
Yeah.
Something that represents good versus bad for sure.
And it's more than like just like the enemies, like it's more than just like one and one. Like the evil is like a bigger empire, for
Yeah,
like
yeah,
so to speak.
exactly. Because they have the Force and they
Mm.
have the dark side of the Force.
Yeah.
And that represents something bigger than humanity or bigger than humans, I guess. Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
something like that. But then add a
Mm.
little bit of sci-fi, maybe like some teleportation or some alternate universes, something along those lines, I think would be fun.
So like I like Stargate, so I think that brings both of those into that.
Yeah,
So
Stargate type TV
yeah.
show.
Or like a Doctor Who.
Oh, I love Doctor Who. That
Yeah.
was a show me and my mom used to watch every day I'd get out of school. We'd
Yeah.
some dinner and turn on some Doctor Who.
Yeah. My dad was a
Yeah.
Star Trek fan, so a lot of Star Trek growing up.
Yeah, something along those lines, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool. I want it. I really want it. Okay, what's been the most fun moment you've had filming so far?
It's gonna sound repetitive, but I think it was the fighting scenes.
hmm Yeah.
Um, Me and Shane have a little scene close to the end of the show. We start out as best friends and then we end up fighting each other to the death.
Mm.
And I think it was fun because of that contrast of the characters, and then also because we have special abilities and the choreography was amazing. I loved our stunt worker or our stunt choreographer. And so that was definitely one of the most fun I've had. Yeah.
Cool. I know a lot of people love the stunts. Even like I know a lot of people, because you're new to this, I know a lot of people don't like the abusive scenes and things like that. But
Yeah.
the girls are like, but sometimes we get to do stunt work and we really love that. So like it's more of anything
Yeah.
to do with stunt work that they love.
Yeah, the girls got to do a little sword fighting scene, which I think they loved. I was a
Yeah.
little jealous.
Yeah. I mean I like the ones where we get like the girl authority and they get to, let's say, kick ass. They love
Yeah.
that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. How do you stay authentic and present on set with all the distractions like camera crew and time pressure?
It's really just about tuning it out, I think. Um, like you said, being present in the moment, right? So obviously you want to try and time your bathroom breaks out and they've got plenty of snacks, so you're not really hungry. And everyone is working toward the same goal. So it's less of a distraction for me and more of just part of the process. And so as long as I'm in the moment and I'm worried about what I need to be doing, everybody else is worried about what they need to be doing. Um, so it's really just worrying about myself and forgetting that they are even a problem.
Yeah.
Um, I just leave that to the director.
Yeah, that's not my
I leave
problem.
that to the crew. Like if they're having problems, I'll take a step back, let them sort it out, take a sip of my coffee, and I try and just stay in character the whole time so that when we go and when they're ready, we can just get right into it.
Yeah, of course. That's good. All right. What do you think makes a scene unforgettable?
Mm. I will say, I think they're doing it right with the cliffhangers.
Mhm.
I think the cliffhangers is a very, very smart tactic because that is what draws people in my opinion. I think definitely drama. Obviously, you want to have like some build up and some back and forth, some fighting or what's the word? Some controversy,
Yeah.
something that will get people talking. I think
Mm.
people talking about things means they remember it, you know?
Yes.
And so if you can have some controversy that'll get people talking and then build it up to leave it off a cliffhanger, that's a memorable scene right there.
Yeah. Yeah. I normally ask this question because you only done a couple. I'll ask it in a different way. How do you think you can make similar roles feel unique?
Mm. I think that dives into creating the character, or that deals with the creating the character. So even though it may be similar, each character has their own unique attributes. And so it's really just about emphasizing those, I think. I love how I'm talking like I'm a professional actor, but
I love that. The confidence is there.
I think like it really is just emphasizing those unique traits about them.
Mm.
Maybe maybe they have a little tick, right? Maybe every time I hear a certain person's name, it sends a reaction through my body, or anytime something specific happens, it's all very, very specific. Um, and that's just what separates the characters from each other, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. So, what do you find more challenging, reaching the high dramatic scenes or going into the more subtle emotions?
Probably going into the more subtle emotions, because I think with the bigger, more powerful scenes, you can kind of just let your emotions go. And people always tell me it's better to do too much than not enough. So if you just give everything you have and then maybe dial it back a little bit, it's gonna leave an impression and it's gonna get that emotion across.
Yeah.
But with the more subtle scenes, it's all facial expressions and subtle movements, and you have to be really meticulous about everything that you do.
Mm.
And so, like even the slightest little tick or grin or facial expression can throw the whole scene off.
Mm. Agreed. And sometimes you don't always get that impression while reading the script on how it's supposed to be portrayed on screen.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it
So you
can be,
gotta have a few different options that you're going
mm.
into the scene with.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So how did you handle the moments when you're on the scene that didn't go the way that you envisioned?
I mean, I think it's mainly just about being flexible for me. Um, Something that helps is being humble.
Yeah.
And I think I'm very humble because I don't know anything. I'm so brand new. I kind of
Mm.
have to be humble, otherwise it's like, who is this guy coming
Yeah.
in? Um, so for me, it's just flexibility. You know, it's taking a note and trying to forget what you were doing before and immediately trying this new thing and going straight into it, diving head on. That's something my acting coach talks about a lot, and it's something I definitely noticed while working in these verticals, especially the
Yeah.
last one I did. There was a couple of scenes, they weren't super important scenes, but they were important for my character. They weren't
Mm.
important for the overall show, I don't think, but for my character development, they were very important.
Yeah.
And I think I just wasn't doing enough at first, and I didn't really understand what I was supposed to be doing. And so the director had to give me a few notes, and I had to try something new. And she would give me a couple more notes, and I had to try something completely different. Um, and like I said, I think it's just trying it without any second thoughts or disregards, just going straight into it. Trusting the director, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. You got to trust
Yeah.
your director.
Yeah. What do you find more helpful, like technical notes or emotional notes?
Emotional notes for sure. I think emotion is just a tricky thing in general because a lot of times people try to hide it or disguise it, like we were talking about earlier with the mask. So, really feeling emotions and showing them can be tricky sometimes, for sure,
Yeah.
especially if it's an
Yeah.
emotion you're not used to feeling.
True. True. Okay. Is there any one thing you want anyone to know about you or your work?
I have a vertical that should be dropping today,
Oh, yep.
called The One That Got Away.
Hmm.
So stay tuned for that. Other than that, I don't know. Just keep your eye out. I'm gonna be working hard, trying to get as many roles as I can, trying to get as big as I can. So stay
What
tuned.
app is your new one on?
It should be on Drama Box. It's
Drumbox.
a production, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Same with
All
the
right.
next one. Yeah,
Okay, so you've got two more coming out?
I do. Yes.
That's good. We like that. We like
Yeah,
work.
I love it. I love
All
it.
right, I've got two more questions. What's the funniest moment on set?
Funniest moment on set. We've had a lot, I won't lie.
Hmm.
Working with Shane was a riot. Working on the one that got away with my friend Ty, super funny guy. But one of the funniest, I'll tell you two. Is that okay?
Go for it.
The first one, I want to tell you two because the first one is probably only funny to me.
It had to be their moment.
Yeah, we were in the scene and it's the first introduction of a new character and he comes in and the bad girl, I can't remember the character's name. But the actor is Joanna. So the new guy comes in, Joanna tells him, "Oh, didn't I leave you drowning in a pool for 8 hours or something?" He's like, "It was 9 hours actually." and my calves have never looked better. And for some reason, that line just sent me every time. I couldn't hold it in when we were filming.
Mm.
So we would have to stop, reset. I'd have to fix my face, and then we'd pick up where we left off.
Yeah.
Um, but and then the other one, it was in this most recent one that we just filmed. It's called my great grandmother is 18 years old,
Mhm.
and I have a scene where I come up and I'm trying to flirt with her because I don't know that she's my grandma. She's in
Hmm.
my eyes just this cute girl at my school. So I go up and I'm all cocky and I'm flirting with her, and she just shuts me down and slaps me in the face with a bouquet of flowers. And
Yeah.
that was a lot of fun to film. We had some fun with that one.
Yeah. Oh, I won't ask too many questions about that because I know that you wouldn't be able to tell me much about that one, but
Yeah.
that does sound funny. All right. Last question. If you could go back and relive a single day in your career, which day would you pick?
Hmm. Can I say none?
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I'm more excited about the future, to be
Hmm.
completely honest. Like, I'm very grateful for what I've done so far, but at the same time, it's all very recent to me.
Yeah.
It's all very new, and so it's pretty fresh in the memory box.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I think I'm just more excited for the future.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know.
I
It's
love that though. It's a good thing.
good. Okay. Of
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to have this interview with me. I appreciate it.
course. It was my pleasure.
Thank you. All right. Well, you have a good day and I'll speak to you again soon.
All right. Let's talk to you soon.
Thanks.